It's been 5 years.
Yes, it is, yeah. February 18th. Time flies, right?
Enjoying it still?
Absolutely. It's great to be home with everything that means.
Can you believe it's been 5 years?
Actually not. Actually not, because a lot has happened in 5 years. COVID happened, recovery from COVID as best as we've been able to do. So lots of things have happened in 5 years. But time flies when you're having fun, and I really am having fun.
About 10 days ago, you authored a pastoral letter that was released to the people of the Archdiocese of Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
What were you hoping to? What was the message there?
I think the message at the end is really in the title of it, right? Trust and hope. When I came back 5 years ago, I knew that I was coming back home to the church that gave birth to my own priesthood and where I served as a priest, that had gone with really tough times, really difficult times, challenging times. And my prayer the day of my installation, which is part of my homily, right, was that we need to go from trust to hope. It's time now to get out of the crisis space and go to the place where the Christian actually lives, which is a place of hope. And so this letter is really an articulation of that, of going to a place of hope, of going to a place to reach out, actually, to those who aren't coming to the table of hope in our churches, right? For whatever reason, to reach out to them. It is where the church has been going, right? To be a church of mission, to be a church on the way, reaching out. And that's the hope, right? That's the hope of this letter, which really does kind of two things. It asks a fundamental question, which is usually a little bit different than the question that is asked when there is planning. Usually when there is planning, the question that is asked is, where can the church not afford to be anymore? We're asking a different question. Where does the church need to be and how? And that's going to garnish a whole bunch of other new, creative, and joyful and hopeful responses. And it's already emerging. And what you see in that letter is what is emerging in the hearts of this local church as we go from crisis to hope.
You're looking to tap into people's ideas.
Heart.
Their heart.
Their heart.
In their hearts, what do you believe you might hear?
You'll hear the desire for hope, because I think people are searching. St. Augustine, the great saint, said it, right? That our hearts are restless, really, until they find their rest in God. And I think there is a restlessness about all of us, wherever we find ourselves on the journey. Hopefully, my hope is that we're able to calm that restlessness and connect them in their heart with the Lord, because that's where that hope resides and where that peace resides in the Lord.
You talked about moving from times of crisis, almost 25 years since the scandal happened.
Yeah.
Do you think people have moved on? Has there been healing?
Some have, I think, and some are still struggling. And so we want to meet them. We want to hear from them. We want to listen to them.
The figures cited in the pastoral letter are surprising. When you see them on paper, when you see them in the video, figures of the 17% of Catholics in the Archdiocese are in the pews on Sundays. How do you confront that number?
Well, again, I confront it with hope, right? Because 17% is a sizable number. You're talking about over 250,000 people are in our churches on Sundays, right?
You want more, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is the nature of the passionate heart of the church, right? So we have to reach out to that 83%, and in particular our young adults who are searching and need a place to belong. We want to give them that place to belong.
With that number, also the Archdiocese, not unlike a lot of other dioceses, is facing a staffing shortage.
Sure.
Is it a crisis among staff of available priests?
I think it's an opportunity, right? Crisis mode doesn't just produces more crisis, but it is an opportunity to explore other ministries in the church. One of the things we're looking at is having parishes led actually by permanent deacons, lay people, religious, where the priest would be able to come in and celebrate the sacraments and spiritual direction. But the laity could actually do a lot of stuff that I used to do as a pastor, right? That doesn't require that that the person be ordained a priest.
That would be a new concept around here, though.
Around here, yes. Around the country, no. It's been happening already in other places, even within the state of here, Pennsylvania.
Successful?
Absolutely, yeah. Our laity and our religious and our permanent deacons have so many gifts and so much to give. And we have to tap that.
There is this history in the Archdiocese of Philadelphia, with its rich education system. It was founded here. And all of that is the culture of this church, and the two intertwine. Is there something you're hoping as this campaign, as this all kicks off? Is it a listening tour? What's the best way?
It's a lot of things. It is a listening tour, as you say, for the Church of Philadelphia to listen to the people. Hopefully, a lot of the 83%, right? So I invite all of us, all of you, including myself, who are listening to us right now, go to our landing page, trustandhope.org. You will read the letter, and you could sign up for a listening session or a gathering of people, trustandhope.org. I'm plugging it for you. Yeah, the hope is to listen. The hope is also through these conversations and these sharings to actually open our hearts, I would say, for a pastoral change of heart. Because we have to really be a church that is facing outwards. It's not my concept. It really goes back to the church's documents and the church in the modern world, all the way back to the Second Vatican Council, spoke about a church that is in the world and almost like yeast, right? That makes everything grow, and that's my hope.
Your thoughts at night, what keeps you up? What keeps you wrestling or restless with some of what some of the challenges that as the Archbishop you're facing?
I would say that we have to reach the hearts of people in a different way than we have been doing it. That in a lot of ways we are back. I call it quoting a book that all of our priests and deacons read, actually, called From Christendom to Apostolic Mission. That in a lot of ways the church itself today finds itself on the Mount of Olives, right? So what do I mean by that? Jesus finds himself on his last day on the planet with these apostles, and he sends them forth to places that were unknown to them. And he gives them a mandate: go and share what I have shared with you, he says to them, and then a promise that he would be with them. So my hope is that in these conversations and these sharings that we would be open to what the Lord will put in our own hearts, and change our hearts to be more apostolic in nature, more missionary in nature. The mission is right here. It's among our families and our friends and our neighbors.
If it's not directly in the pastoral letter or the video, forgive me, I cannot cite, but I've been told you don't want to close churches. You don't want to close parishes. That
was the second question that was asked of me at my press conference 5 years ago. Are you going to close churches? And my response to that was, I didn't come here to close churches. I came here to hopefully make the church grow. Could that involve change? Well, yeah, that's life. But that's not what gets me up in the morning. What gets me up in the morning is not about closing churches. I like to open more. In reality, this missionary initiative of planting these missionary hubs, as this letter talks about, it's really the planting of an initiative actually for growth.
You were at the Link on Sunday.
I was at the Link on Sunday. Go Eagles, right?
Go Eagles, go Birds. You would like to see that kind of a crowd in your churches?
Absolutely.
People say that's a hard job, Archbishop.
That's all right, but I believe that a dead man rose to life, right? So that's the nature of the Christian hope. That's always looking of what is possible. It's what the angel said to Mary, right? Remember that? All things are possible with God.
You're seen as an enthusiastic leader, someone who is in love with the crowd. Your spirit, your style, people seem plugged into that. After 5 years, give me your one of those things that just that stays with you, a memory that you do not separate from.
I think the people in general, they energize me.
All of it.
Yeah. And the way people greet me and welcome me, they welcome me with great joy and with great hope. And my brother priests are like that. The people are like that. It's a great gift.
The priests, they're forward-facing every day with Mass, sick, dying, and your message to them through part of this, as you embark on this, what are they told?
First thing I want to say to them is thank you. They've given their life to walk with our people, and they do it with great generosity of heart. And to know that the Lord is with them. That was his promise on the Mount of Olives. I'll be with you until the end of time.
Do you see their job getting tougher as the different challenges that they face, or is it something that's kind of, you pray for this, you work for this, you study for this, this is life?
I think it's life, Joe. I think there's always challenges. The challenges shift through time. So if you would have spoken to priests and church leaders in the 40s, they would tell you their challenges and their difficulties and their crisis, right? But the church is resilient. People are resilient. Our priests are resilient. The church is resilient. And so the challenges are always there. You just switch them over time for another set of challenges, as happens in our lives too, right? At any given point, we could name 5, 6, 10 challenges we're going through at the same time. 10 years ago, we were going through challenges as well. And we'll have them until 6 hours after we're dead, we'll have challenges. It's how we deal with them.
Right, the here and now.
Yeah.
In the here and now, when you look at the actual framework of going forward with the contents of the pastoral letter, it has lots of meetings all across
the 5-county area of Philadelphia, yeah.
Like a good focus group, or reading data that tells you how you did in that homily on Sunday. This is people's opportunity to have to sound off, right?
Yeah.
And forgive me, I don't mean to assume, but what's your pitch for someone who's on the fence about coming to something like this?
That we want to listen to you, because you're important to us, and you're important to the Lord.
That's
why we're doing it.
That's simple.
That's simple.